Hi, everyone. Here we are back again. Today, we're going to talk about growing your coaching or consulting business exponentially. I want to talk a little bit about this because I've been seeing a lot of people that are struggling on how to grow their business. So I think this is a good topic, and let's get to it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to change now the camera. So here we go. Here we go. Perfect. So thank you very much for being here. Let's get going. I'm just checking. Yeah, the background is not going to work for now. I'm going to just none. Perfect. There we go. So thank you again for being here. I hope we're live. Just let me know if you're watching live on Facebook, hashtag live. That will be great. And if you're watching replay, hashtag replay, that will be awesome, guys. Thank you very much for that. So let's talk a little bit about growing your coaching or consulting business exponentially and what's going on, right? Why is it that so many people are struggling? I've been an entrepreneur now for 25 years. This year is going to be 26 years since I started. I had many failed businesses. Then in 2003, I started another business, that I kept for, now it's been 19 years more or less. And at the beginning, for the first 6, 7, 8 years, I don't remember exactly, I struggled. I couldn't make my business grow exponentially. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Suzanne, for being here. Romana, Shan, all the people, Robin, Mary on Zoom. I appreciate you guys. So what was going on that I wasn't being able to grow my business? And I know it's going to sound, repetitive again, but it had to do with mindset. I wasn't in the right place, believing in myself, feeling confident. When I started doing emergency care training. One of the business, my first business I really launched, right, and was able to grow exponentially and everything after doing some mind work, of course. What was going on is I didn't believe in myself. I doubted myself. Whenever I was standing in front of a class offering a lecture, guys, I would put the written workbook in front of me, and I wouldn't look at the students. I would just read. I didn't have a projector back then. We didn't have any TV or anything to put this up. We just had the workbooks, and people would read the workbook together, and we would, discuss, talk about those things. So when I started, I would hide, seriously, guys, I would hide behind the workbook because I felt doubt, low self-esteem, low confidence. I didn't feel I was ready to do what I was doing. And I knew what I was doing. I had been doing it for many years. I had studied a lot to be where I'm at, where I was. But and one of the things that I have spoken in other lectures is I wasn't able to put the knowledge into teachable knowledge. Okay, so I had a lot of information that I started turning into knowledge because I studied, I did summaries, I did a lot of things to be able to turn that information to knowledge, right? And that's why it allowed me to pass the exams that I did back when I was studying in the States. That really helped me, yeah? So I turned it to knowledge, but it wasn't teachable knowledge. Why wasn't it teachable knowledge? Because I didn't teach it before. So although I had a lot of knowledge, I knew what I was doing, I had experience in everything, it didn't mean that I was able to teach others. And it took me a while to teach others, to be able to feel the confidence, feel the confidence, the trust in myself, to be able to not hide behind a workbook what I was teaching. And one of the biggest things that helped me grow my business exponentially, right, had to do with building my self-confidence, building my self-esteem, trusting that I really knew what I was doing. And I want to talk a little bit about this today, because this could be one of the main reasons why most people are not being able to grow their consulting or their coaching business. So I listened to so many programs out there. And remember, I've been in many programs. I have helped tons of people in different programs. And the big thing that I see over and over again, and I know if you heard this before, guys, but we need to understand that repetition is important to the mind. And it might be a specific way, gathering information, then specific things that come later that click and make me really understand. And I talked about this with Romana mainly last time, but I want to share it again openly because we spoke with her on Zoom and a lot of people miss that part, that were not part of the community. So I want to talk about that, growing your coaching and consulting business exponentially. One of the biggest things that I listen over and over again is that your time is valuable, that you need to charge, and you need to charge high ticket, that it's easier to close a 5,000, no, sorry, easier, sorry. Yeah, easier as in making 5 or 10K a month. It's easier to make 5 or 10K a month by selling one product that is 5 or 10K to one person instead of selling $100 programs or $200 courses, right? To, again, I don't know, 10 people, it would be $2,000. So it needs to be, 200 people to be able to get closer to making 20K or whatever, if you want to make X amount of money. So they say it's easier to sell high ticket, to one person and try to sell 100 low ticket stuff to whatever number you want to make a month. It is true, but it's not right to start with that, guys. When we're building our coaching business, whether it is 6 months in, whether it is 1 year in, whether it is maybe 1.5 years in, because it doesn't matter the time frame you've been in business. What matters, guys, is the amount of people you have helped. And listen to that again. It doesn't matter the time frame you've been in business. What matters is how many people you have helped. Type a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Type a 1 in the chat if that makes sense, guys. Please, it's important to understand that. If it doesn't make sense, please, we'll talk about that again. Because I hear so many people saying, oh, but I have, 2 years of experience. I have 10 years of experience. I have, whatever years of experience. Okay, but I go to these numbers. How many people have you helped? Oh, I have helped 20 people. I have helped 30 people. And you know what my answer is? That's not enough, guys. That is not enough. If you're not being able to get out there and get more and more clients, the problem is that you might have a mindset issue in 90% of the times that you don't believe in yourself. You don't have enough confidence. And you might say, but Tommy, I have confidence. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Are you closing clients? If you're not being able to get people on calls, if you're not being able to close those people on calls, and it doesn't mean have a 100% close rate, no, not at all. Because when I started, I had like a 2-3% close rate. But if you're not even able to get people on calls or getting to talk to people and helping them and getting interested in what you're offering, deep down, you might know what you're doing, but there are limiting negative and false beliefs that are telling you that you don't know what you're doing. The imposter syndrome. So it's important to understand that if you're not making sales, guys, it could be marketing and sales. Don't get me wrong. You need to put things in place, but those are not the most difficult things. It has to do with you mainly, because if you really own your stuff and you come out and do a live, people are going to resonate. If they're looking for help, they're going to reach out. And if they're not reaching out, you're reaching out to them and asking them if they need help. This is one of the biggest things that I do, guys. I have an enormous follow-up, whether it is on Messenger, whether it is on emails, whether it is on doing these lives. I have follow-up. I keep going out there and showing people that I know what I'm doing, that I can help them. And if they're looking for somebody to help them one-on-one or in a group setting, they're going to reach out to me. And that is the trick of the work that I do, guys. There's not much trick to that. But when people listen to me, they realize that I know what I'm doing. They trust me. They see me as authority. And that's why some people, look at the wording, some people want to work with me. But if I don't build that self-confidence, that self-trust, that self-esteem, and I get rid of the garbage in my mind that is making me doubt myself, that is making me, feel an imposter, not taking the actions that I need. It is mindset, guys. And I'm not being able to close people because of my mindset, not because of my messaging, not because of my website. It has nothing to do with that. When I started, I had a really, I'm going to say it, guys, as it is, a really shitty website. Seriously. And people come into my website nowadays and they complain and say, marketers, people that want to sell me something and say, Tommy, there's a lot of work to be done on that website. Okay, you know what? I made $200,000 with that website. With my Facebook profile and my website, I have made $200,000, right? So they come like, oh, that is a shitty website. That is not a website. It doesn't matter so much. It matters, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't matter so much your website more than your energy. Your energy, what you're saying, what you're showing to people is much more important than your website, than your profile in itself. If you have a really bad profile, or you don't not showing what you're doing, yeah, it might, of course, have a an impact in what you're doing. Don't get me wrong, or selling. But if you don't have that perfect, right, in the perfect way, the most important thing is you guys, the image you show to people, when you talk, how you talk. And most of the times when people are not being able to make sales, again, it has to do with their own limitations. I have false belief that people don't understand the value in coaching. There you go, Romano, you see? If you have the false belief that people don't see that value, you're going to see that and you're going to transfer that into people. You're going to sound doubtful because you're going to be like, oh, I don't know if this person is going to realize the importance of coaching. And that energy is going to come out in your lives. It could come out in your messaging. It could come out in your calls. So people are going to feel a negative energy, and it has nothing to do with you owning what you know. It has to do with you doubting if people can see the value that you have to offer or the value in coaching. So it has to do with that negative energy. Haven't you ever gone, guys, into a place and you felt a dense place? Like you go into a meeting, into a wherever place, and you're like, oh, this feels so dense in here. Like you can cut the density with a knife, right? That is energy, guys. Energy is something that is true. Did you see Monsters, Inc., the movie of Disney? I think of Pixar, sorry, Pixar, and then turned to Disney. I'm now kind of difficult to catch up. But Monsters, Inc., the monster would scare the kids, and the kids, when they screamed, they would, in a way, pack it into energy, these monsters, to, bring that energy to their world and give energy. Energy exists. I believe that kind of movie is based on truth, because there is energy. I don't know if people can collect it like that, don't get me wrong, but energy exists. So if my energy is not the right energy, I'm not going to be able to communicate correctly and bring that trust, bring that confidence to the table, even though if I believe in myself, because subconsciously it's what matters. And what I keep saying over and over again, guys, it's not what I think that is holding me back. It's what I don't know I think that is holding me back. So what does that mean in easy words? Is many times I think that I know. I think that I trust myself. I think that I have a good confidence, good self-esteem. But if deep down in my subconscious mind, I have doubt, I have limiting negative and false beliefs, whatever I think consciously is going to be overridden by my subconscious mind and forget about it. You're not going to be able to. So my recommendation, after listening to all these people around there saying bullshit about your time is worth, you got to charge big time, you got to do this, you got to do that, you're going to make a lot of money, whatever. It's BS, guys. I've been in many programs as a user, connecting with a lot of people, because as I was practicing my coaching in English on Zoom, face-to-face with other people, I wanted as much exposure as I could to this. So what I did is whenever I went into a program, I started offering my services for free with the people inside the program. And most of them were struggling. And I follow them, many of them, and even nowadays, and I see that they're not making much money, that they're stuck. Even though they know what they need to do, they're not doing it. Why? Because they're being taught the wrong way. So yeah, Mary, I can repeat that again. And this is something that I created. It's confusing, but it is. It's not what you think that is holding you back. It's what you don't know you think that is holding you back. What you don't know you think is the subconscious mind. You're not aware of your own limitations, even though you might try to convince yourself that you know your stuff, that you believe in yourself, that you have the confidence to do whatever you're doing. I don't care what you think consciously, because the conscious mind doesn't run the show. The subconscious mind runs the show. So it's what you don't think. It's what you don't know you think, part of the subconscious mind, that is holding you back. So how can you grow your coaching and consulting business exponentially? First of all, stop listening to all the crap most marketers are telling you out there, because they're feeding you with lies. It's not about getting out there and start charging big time, start making a lot of money. No, guys, it's the opposite. Get out there and start offering free sessions. Why? Because when you offer free sessions, you're turning the knowledge into teachable knowledge much faster. That is going to start confirming that you know what you're doing. That is going to accelerate your growth, guys. And if you do this as fast as you can, it could take you 1 or 2 months to work with maybe 50, 60 people. Seriously, I did that in 1 month, 1.5 months. I worked with 50 people in English around the world on Zoom. And that built my trust and self-esteem so much, because although I had been coaching for 10 years, I had been doing it in Spanish, face-to-face, and within another business as a bonus. And I never even mentioned I was doing coaching. I was just doing it because I didn't want others to realize what I was doing. So when I started doing this that I'm doing right now, it was open water. It was an unknown terrain. And I felt weird at the beginning. I felt imposter. I felt doubt. I felt, lack of confidence. How did I build that exponentially? By working on my limiting, negative, and false beliefs, and by offering free sessions, as many people as I could. As I started building that, I started realizing and listening to myself teaching this over and over again in English on Zoom with people around the world. And I realized that it worked in English and with people around the world. And as I started seeing more and more people saying like, whoa, this blows my mind. Don't worry, teaching. I've never heard this before. It's amazing. As I started listening to those things, I started convincing myself too that I knew what I was doing. As I built that confidence inside of me, I was able to start charging. Now for my services, I started low and I started increasing my prices. And a lot of people tell me, but Tommy, what if I do lives on my group? No, doing live on your group or on your profile is a way of sabotaging yourself, guys. It is sabotaging yourself because you're not interacting with others. You're not receiving face-to-face. So you're not getting uncomfortable. You're not getting so uncomfortable when you're doing lives, when you're teaching in a group setting, even if you have more people on Zoom. It doesn't work like that because you're spending 5 or 10 minutes with each person. So you're not being able to use all your tools and test which tools works with whom and in which specific moment, in which specific situation. As we learn coaching, consulting, whatever it is that we're learning, we have many tools. We got to use that tool so many times that whenever somebody is struggling, we can just grab a tool and boom, put it in there and make it work. But when you're starting and you haven't really practiced those tools, you don't know how to use them. Even though you have tried even practice them with yourself, it is not the same because every person is unique. So you got to be able to use those tools so many times that you know when and where to use those tools. I can have a huge toolbox with screwdrivers of different sizes, but until I don't really use them over and over again, I'm not a specialist at it. I cannot charge big time for my services. This is the same, guys. You got to stop thinking that you have to make a lot of money because you have studied or because you have a lot of knowledge or experience or whatever. You got to put that down into practice one-on-one. Not even, again, guys, not even in a group setting. Because as I do 10 or 15-minute laser coaching in the group, I have 13, nearly now this year is going to be 14 years of doing this. So I know what tool to grab and what to put into that place to help you guys in a 10, 15-minute call. But if I would have done this many years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It was that practice and experience that allowed me to be where I'm at. So a lot of people want to jump into group setting because it makes more money. It is a little bit cheaper, whatever it is that you're telling yourself. The truth is you're sabotaging yourself. If you don't want that one-on-one, there is a reason why you don't want that. Exclusive, being, exclusive to a person for 50 minutes, 45, 60, an hour, whatever, an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, you're not being able to be exclusive. There is something there in your mindset going on that you need to dig deeper. So if you really want to grow your coaching or consulting business exponentially, get out there and practice with as many people as you can. Practice, practice, practice. Grab tools from your toolbox and put them in practice. Test them. See if they work. Because you know what? If they work for you, it doesn't mean they're going to work for everybody else. Things that have worked for me didn't work for other people. So it's important to understand that, and I listen to this a lot, that, oh, but Tommy, it has worked for me, so it's going to work for other people. Yes and no. It might work for the other people, but it's not a guarantee. And this is another bullshit that we're being telling, that we've been told by marketers, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi in their programs, Russell Brunson, just be 2 steps ahead and you can teach anybody, you know, what you did to yourself. If you have been able to overcome, you know, alcoholism, smoking, whatever, you can help others. Bullshit, guys. Every person is unique. And we've spoken before. If I have attached, I don't know, that food is love. If I try to push myself into going to diet, and I just now, a woman yesterday reached out to me saying that each time she goes into dieting, she puts more weight. Look at this, guys. Each time she goes into dieting, she puts more weight. So it's very important to understand that this woman doesn't need a diet. So a person that made a diet work for them doesn't mean that it's going to make it work for you. Or if I made it work for me, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. I need to understand what's really going on. I need to understand that there are different diets and different people out there. So there's not just one unique thing that's going to work for everyone. That's why I tell people a lot that I'd rather work with people mostly one-on-one. And that's why I keep offering one-on-one, even though I have now a 24-week program where I meet people bi-weekly one-on-one. So it extends the payments are extended, everything. 24 weeks working with me. We have weekly group calls and one-on-one still twice a month, because it's on the one-on-one that I can really get into that head and understand what's going on. So Sean, yes, may not work for others as well, have a different frame of reference, etc. So I need to find your frame of reference, Sean, and everybody else's frame of reference to see how to enter that mind. So I cannot just put together, you know, a program and say, okay, go through this program by yourself. Because normally it's not going to work, guys. I've seen people do it and I see they tell everyone that it's working for everyone, blah, 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 whatever, but it's not true. Because every person is unique, and I gotta get in there and find what's your frame of reference to be able to, according to your frame of reference, be able to help you change your beliefs. So it's not a one thing works for everyone. That's what we need to understand. Romana, I'm glad that this is helping you, because we need to get out there, start practicing with as many people as we can, so we can build that experience first, that teachable knowledge, and then adjust our tools to every case that we're treating in whatever area it is. Mindset, fitness, dieting, whatever it is. It's not one thing fits all, guys. It doesn't. So when we understand it, it's going to make it much easier to be able to move forward. It's not what you think. There we go. Sorry, just checking. Okay, so we need to get out there and be able to teach people so that we can build our confidence, build our self-esteem, and from there, grow our business exponentially. And that's what I've done, guys. And I keep doing it. I'm offering free stuff. I keep offering free guidance call. This week, I had my first call of the year, because last couple of weeks, as most of you know, I took some time off. My first call this week, and I closed it. I have, I think, another call this week that I'm pretty sure it might close, because this person already came recommended and they want to work with me. So I'm pretty sure it's going to close. We'll see what happens. I don't know. And next week I got 2 or 3 more calls already. And now I'm working with some people that they are appointment setters. Yeah, they get you appointments. They guarantee 15, 20 appointments per month. And you got to pay them, of course, right? I'm going to test them out. We'll see what happens, if it works, if it doesn't, if they're qualified or not at all, the people that bring in. But it's up to me to close them. But everything is falling into place. Now I have another person that's helping me with social media to grow the people that are following me. So you're going to start seeing more videos of me coming out. The idea, I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off, but it's going to be like 2 videos a day, guys. 2 videos a day of 1 minute. but 2 videos a day, every day. We'll see if we can hold on to that. But that's what this guy is recommending me to really start building a following. Okay. So I've been putting all these pieces together and I keep growing my business. But it started doing the opposite of what most people are teaching out there. Oh, put together your group coaching. No, start your one-on-one. Maybe do that for a year or 2 first, then start scaling. Because again, you start finding the individuality, the uniqueness in each person, and how your tools adjust to that individuality, that uniqueness. But if you try putting your group coaching together at the beginning, there are big chances, guys, that you're going to be one of those 90%, 80% of coaches, consultants out there that are not making any money. You do whatever you want, guys. Follow the pack, see the results they're getting. 80 to 90% of people out there are not making any money. If so many people are not making it work, are not making any money, it's because they're doing something wrong. So I'm introducing something new that is very different to what most people are teaching. Yeah, but it works, guys. I've tested it myself and I've shared it with others. And when they do it, they see results. Every single person tried this, saw results in their business, started booking calls, started sharing with people, started growing their business. And it doesn't mean making money right away, because if you're starting, you shouldn't be making money right away because you are practicing and learning. Why should I pay you to practice and learn on me? That's the guidance calls for, to practice, to learn, and then start charging. We got everything upside down, guys. That is why so many people are not making it work. Let me know if it makes sense. Type a yes in the chat if it makes sense, or no in the chat if it doesn't make sense. And if you believe that something is different, guys, it's okay. But if most people are not making it with their business, and I've been studying business for now many years, marketing, sales, all of that, and I've studied mindset for so many years. Combining both, I know what works and what doesn't. For some very few people that they're able to repress and disconnect from their emotions, they're able to kick their ass so hard to take actions. They kick themselves so hard in the butt that they're able to take actions. But they're the few, but the consequences are bad. Breakdowns, burnout, high levels of stress, and even health problems. And I've seen it, guys. I've seen people, I cannot give names, of people out there, some of you might know, that have reached out saying, Tommy, I had a burnout, I had a breakdown, I had to move away from social media for 2, 3, 4 months. I want to get back, I need help. And they have reached out and I have helped them. I'm not talking about big names out there. I'm talking about some small names out there that you might know, people that have done coaching, affiliate marketing, different things that have suddenly you've seen them disappear for a couple of months. It has to do with these breakdowns. And some names that you might know even out there that I haven't helped that have disappeared from social media. They've gone, they had a business, they made, several $100,000, maybe $1 million, and then they disappeared. They didn't disappear because they were done. They had a breakdown. So I don't know for every case out there, don't get me wrong, but I have heard several people that have had breakdowns and have gone away from social media. They couldn't stand it anymore. So again, how to grow your coaching consulting business exponentially, get your knowledge and turn it into teachable knowledge, and get that experience, get out there and start helping people for free. Help so many people for free that you're going to be like, whoa, I know what I'm doing. And that is going to start changing, your confidence, your self-esteem, and the way you communicate, the way you show up. The way you show up is so important. I kicked myself also a lot and got insomnia for 9 months, and I was still going to the gym 6. There you go, despite no sleep. That's how obsessed I was. You see, that's what happens to a lot of people. They kick themselves so hard in the butt that they then have breakdowns. They have problems. So again, I don't recommend that. There is another way. It seems slower, guys. It seems slower. But if you have been struggling for 6 months, 8 months, trying to make money, and you haven't, what not change that into 1 or 2 months investing in helping as many people as you can? 1 or 2 people a day, guys. 1 or 2 people a day, 5 days a week, it's 20 days. So we're talking about, 20 days, 2 people a day, 40 people. If you do that for 2 months, we're talking about 50, 60, 80 people. I guarantee that your business is going to change if you do this. But you got to put that work in. If you're not putting it in, there is something in your mind that is holding you back, a saboteur that is telling you not to do it. What Tommy is saying is not correct. It's not going to work. If it hasn't worked for you for 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, I'm not saying something is wrong. You're not wanting to accept it because it's demeaning, quote unquote, in your mind. Oh, I got to help people for free? That is going backwards. That is demeaning my work, demeaning myself. No, it is growing your business, guys. Do whatever you want, but I would really recommend you do this. But how to find people? Romana, we're going to stay here. That question is just it. We're going to stay here. My time is over for the Facebook Live. I'm going to finish this Facebook Live right now here. We're going to move over to Zoom, and we're going to keep talking about what's the exact process I take people through to be able to get those people interested in being helped. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a second. But thank you very much, everybody, for listening. If you're watching again on Facebook, let us know. #live if you're watching live, #replay. If you're liking this, let us know. If you don't like this, please let us know why. I like learning and being challenged. As I'm challenging you guys, I want you to challenge me back. Okay, so I hope you can challenge me back saying like, hey, Tommy, I don't believe in this. I'm open to discussing this. But again, if you have been in a program for 3, 6 months and you're not making much sales, if you're not being able to get people on calls, if you're not able to get more people interested in what you're doing, start questioning the methods that you're applying, because most of the times you're applying the wrong methods. That's my opinion after, again, many years as an entrepreneur, many years studying the mindset and combining both and finding the right way to grow your business. Let's put it the other way, less pressure, less obsession, and more taking the steps the right way. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm going to stay here on Zoom with the people that are part of the Elite membership. We're going to continue going deeper with this. Thank you very much.